Welcome into Real Biz. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today from Excedo and the XR Sports Alliance, Lucy Trang Nguyen. Welcome to the show, Lucy.
Hi, Bubba. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
I am so good, and I'm really excited about this conversation. We had to push it off a couple of times already, but the timing couldn't be more perfect. I know you got some really exciting announcements and some big stuff coming up this summer with the XR Sports Alliance. But before we get into all of that, I want to give you a chance off the top here. Give us a little bit of your backstory, and then we're obviously going to get into all your work with Excedo and the XR Sports Alliance.
Sure. So I'm Lucy. Very nice to be on your show, on your podcast. I've been in this industry of XR, so extended reality and video streaming for about 8 to 9 years now. I started with a smaller startup based out of Germany, Munich. Back then we didn't have any relationships in the global market. So it was literally my job to go out in the European region as well as in the North American and Asian region to build business relationships. And we started out with mobile augmented reality second screen applications. So really, how can we enhance and elevate, for example, the media entertainment experience for kids shows? And then slowly we moved from kids entertainment, media entertainment to the sports space. And in 2023, Excedo has acquired our company back then called iCandyLab. And since then, I've been with Excedo. Then I worked with Excedo for a couple of years, and then we started to launch our XR Sports Alliance together with our founding members, Qualcomm and HBS. And yes, now I'm here.
For our listeners that are new to the XR terminology, can you just briefly explain what XR covers, right? We know virtual reality. I think people are getting more comfortable with augmented reality. Can you just explain, like I said, briefly what XR kind of covers?
Very good point, actually. We talk about it as it was, normal. So extended reality, or XR, stands for extended reality, and it's really like the umbrella term, right? So it covers virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. So these are the different ranges, if you will. And each of these realities, they would describe how immersed you are in your experience. So virtual reality, so the headsets, means that you are 100% immersed in, the headset environment, the digital virtual environment. The augmented reality layer would be you're augmenting your real world, your physical space with virtual content that's less immersed. And mixed reality is you can kind of jump between both. So XR is just like the umbrella term for all of it.
Right. Perfect. I just kind of wanted to cover that off the top because, like you said, very easy for you who is well versed in this to like it's your world, right? And it has been your world for several years, but my eyes might gloss over a couple times this episode as I struggle to understand everything, because really, Lucy, you're living in the future, and what you're bringing to the table is something that on the user level, some people may not see for another, 2 or 3 years that finally gets to them. I know that having the glasses market really blowing up, the AI glasses and the augmented reality glasses really expanding that market to the user interface is important for the XR Sports Alliance and for Excedo in particular.
Absolutely. And we've been in this space for quite a few years now, and we all started with the virtual headsets, right? So the VR headsets. And now, as you already mentioned, the market is very much shifting toward the glasses. We all believe that for now, at least, the AI glasses, the smart glasses, will really become the mass market device. But it doesn't mean that all of our learnings was for nothing, right? So all of our learnings in the virtual reality headsets can be translated and applicable now to all of the augmented reality glasses that we are already working on for a couple of years. Now, the market is really seeing more and more of that. But the real mass market device for now, at least, is the AI glasses. But again, moving towards that, we're also validating what we can do on these kind of glasses and form factor. we will then apply all of our learnings that we had in virtual reality, augmented reality to the AI glasses. It's different form factors. The glasses become lighter and lighter, right? Headsets was heaviest, then the augmented reality glasses were already sleeker, lighter, but the AI glasses really are the new wearables, right? Similar to how you had smartwatches in the beginning, right? In the beginning, we had smartwatches that were company devices accompanying our smartphones. Then they became standalone, and now the glasses become the accompanying devices to our smartphones.
Lucy, you're probably not old enough to remember, but when I was a kid in the 90s, the cell phones were about the size of my cup. So we've come a long ways. It's funny how they got smaller and smaller, and now they're kind of coming back to that. But we're just digesting content on our phones mostly. And now with the glasses and those things, people want to be able to not even have to pick up their phone. And I think that's why you're seeing, especially the glasses that people can wear that are becoming the new normal, really. And I think, 3 to 5 years from now, everyone are wearing some form of glasses. Now, I don't wear glasses for my own vision, as some people do. My wife is a glasses wearer, but I wear sunglasses when I'm outside, and having something that is less of a spectacle type and for vision, but is comfortable and sleek, it is going to be a normal. And when you have the augmented reality and the XR, I guess we'll just kind of use that term, and because it's probably changing, right? These aren't necessarily new products and new things. They're evolutions of what's already here. And yes, it gets a new name, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily brand new technology on the back end. And I think that's what you're alluding to.
Yes, and how I try to explain it, internally to our stakeholders, but also externally to our partners is, in the media entertainment industry, what we have to really focus on and lean on is the hardware development market, right? How the hardware market is developing or evolving. So before we had smart TVs, so all of the media right owners thought, okay, we have to be on the smart TVs, right? First, actually, our founder, when he started with Exito, we were one of the first ones. He was the one going each of the broadcasters, convincing them that now after the broadcast, they have to think about OTT. So we had to build the business case for OTT. Then the mobile phones came, right? The era where everybody watched YouTube videos and all kinds of videos on their mobile. And now we're seeing, after mobile, how does the hardware market with displays evolve? We have smartphones, but all the technology providers, they now want to create new types of personal wearables. So we started with smart watches, and now we have glasses. And these AI glasses are the new next generation of wearables. And these wearables, for now, most of them only have audio. They can be navigated with audio, but Meta Display and Google is also probably launching very soon glasses with display as well. That means they will be, as light as our normal glasses, but on maybe 1 or 2 of these glasses, you will have a small display. It's not necessarily for, HD streaming of video, but that's not even the necessary use case, right? As soon as these wearables become mass market, then the media rights owners, what do they want? They would want to grab attention of the users. So they have to exist on these glasses too, even though it's a small display and audio. So now we really have to look into the use cases, as in how can media entertainment exist on those? It's not video streaming, but maybe it's small highlight clips, video clips, or metadata, breaking news, right? How can these AI glasses with a small display maybe even elevate our at-home broadcasting or TV experience? These are the things that we're looking into.
Yeah, it's sci-fi reality at this point, and it's really wild to have these conversations with you. And obviously, we had Luke Gaydon on the show previously on our sister network, talking more about the sports applications of this in the stadium, because that's a little bit more of his world inside of Exito. But I mean, yeah, my mind's just blown by what's coming to us, and really movies that we watched when we were kids in the early 2000s. Those realities are very much on the cusp now. We have a saying in English that you put the cart before the horse, right? Which kind of means that you're going to step 3 before step 1 there. Do you feel like Exito in a lot of ways was the cart, and now the horse that is the hardware and the wearables and all those things are finally catching up to where the software has kind of been existing and working in that space for the last 5 years?
100%. I mean, it's not just us, right? Us, our competitors and partners out there, we've been betting on this technology for such a long time. We've been betting on this. We built software for this. We built applications and experiences for this. But all of the experiences and software we built back then was existing only on devices that nobody really wanted to buy. But still, we believed in it because we believed that the technology, the hardware technology, will catch up. And now I think we are at some kind of a tipping point. As of right now, the AI glasses, there's so many OEMs just coming that will produce and manufacture and distribute these new glasses. And at some point, these AI glasses will converge with the XR glasses that we've built for so far. So they all will become lighter. The display technologies will become better and all become more powerful. So everything that we built for so far will be applicable to what we are going to distribute in the future. So I think everybody should be very proud of being part of this journey, as are we. And what we're trying to do is really to pull together the entire ecosystem to build a solid foundation for what is really coming commercially.
Yeah, it has to be so exciting to have people finally get it, right? To be having conversations with people when you go to these conferences and things that you're attending, and to be talking to people and like they understand it now because you've been fully immersed in this for so long that like it all makes sense to you. It's just a normal part of your reality. And the wearables and all these things that really, I mean, even 5 years ago seemed crazy, right?
Yeah.
You're telling people, and they're like, that's never going to happen. And you're like, well, we're pretty sure it's going to, and we're going to put all of our eggs in that basket and make sure that it does. And really, in a lot of ways, the future is a reality that you and Exito and the XR Sports Alliance and all of these partners that you've been working with, that you've truly created out of nothing, out of a vision. And I think that's what's so amazing about what you do. On a personal level, Lucy, I have to know, how exciting is it to work inside of a company like this and to really be seeing and working with technology that is going to be world changing, but to see it really, 3 to 5 to maybe 10 years ahead of where the normal user, a guy like me, is ever going to have access to it?
That's a very good question. I mean, the challenging part back then was really, as you said, we were selling a vision, right? That most of the people actually didn't see it or didn't believe in. And now, finally, things are becoming more tangible because the vision that we sold back then can now be seen and experienced in a way that they can actually realistically see themselves using. So that is the exciting tipping point, right? And being in a company like Exito, so I have to say, Exito is a Swedish company, privately owned. It's a very entrepreneurial-driven company. The founders are Swedish. They're very entrepreneurial. They are so supportive of what we're doing. We are only investing into XR because the founders believe in it, right? Because most of the other companies could also say, hey, why are we investing in a technology that's not already here yet or not even mass market yet? But we are, as you said, not all of our baskets, but eggs in the baskets, but we're actually definitely investing into XR. And only because our founders believe in that too. So we have a team working on it. They have been very supportive with even founding the XR Sports Alliance too, because that was a huge initiative, and we successfully launched. We announced many members already, and we're still up and running and delivering what value. So I'm very excited and also proud of the path that we have behind us.
Yeah, it's got to put a huge smile on your face every day waking up now, where I know it had to be stressful in the early on as you're explaining it to people and it just goes so far over their head. I kind of understand that from what I've grown with our podcast platform, because my vision was always to be, we're a TV network, we're a radio network, we're all the things that used to be, but we're all exclusively online. I don't have a 100,000-watt tower and satellite broadcast. Like, all of that's done for me. The technology's here. And now that we have a Roku channel that we're a big part of and all these different things, that I'm starting to finally able to show people, like, this was the vision I had 2 years ago. So on a very, very small, level, I understand that feeling, and I can't help but smile when I think about where we've come. So for you guys on this, like, just grand scale, to be really the tip of the spear in this space, it has to be so exhilarating right now. And I know you got a big event coming up this summer where you're really announcing to the world now the XR Sports Alliance, and really putting it out there in the public. So can you tell us a little bit about that coming up? And then we're definitely going to hit on like specific use cases, and because I know that you have this stuff out there and working. So tell us about the event coming up this summer, and then we'll get into a little deeper dive.
Sure. So maybe a bit of context about the XR Sports Alliance. The XR Sports Alliance is a global strategic initiative. It's a nonprofit entity that we have founded together with our founding members, Qualcomm and HBS. I'm sure that most of them are already out there, are familiar with Qualcomm being, the chipset manufacturer powering a lot of the market-leading devices, mobile phones, IoT, automotive, but also XR. So the market-leading XR devices, the headsets, the glasses, are being powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon chipsets. That's why they're also one of our founding members. The second founding member is HBS, the host broadcasting service company that is, in charge of really delivering the premier top-notch sporting events like FIFA World Cup, right? So they are the producers behind it. And then there's Excedo. Us at Excedo, we have been in the space of video businesses, streaming business for 20 years. So for over 20 years, a bit over 20 years now, we've been building video solutions, the streaming apps that you know from your everyday uses, right? And all of us together, the three of us, we've been in this XR space for a long time, either from the hardware, sports production, or the software service side as us. But we've seen that so many experiments have been done by us, but also by our partners, competitors out there. But still, the XR sports industry hasn't taken off. Sports is one of the key verticals when it comes to adoption for XR. That's what we all believe. But after so many experiments, we still don't see that people understand the business use cases behind it. And what we need for XR sports services to take off and being adopted is that the sports right owners understand the business case behind it. And this is a big ecosystem challenge that none of us could solve alone. So that's why we said, okay, we should launch an alliance, and we shouldn't stop at our founding members level. We should onboard all the leaders in XR technology and in sports and bridge the gaps. And now, currently we are 22 members within the alliance, including big names like, Google, Lenovo, T-Mobile, Red Bull, Premier Lacrosse League, and so on. So we have really a couple of these very premium OEM technology providers, but sports right owners as well. And we're doing structured experiments. And all these experiments are conducted in a way, designed in a way to achieve very validate objectives that we set for each experiment. And then all of the lessons learned will be shared towards all of the members. So the idea is really that this nonprofit organization gets all of the learnings needed for the ecosystem to thrive. So even if there are members within the alliance that may actually be competitors outside of the alliance, within the alliance we're partners. We just want to build that foundation, and then after lessons learned, everybody can make their own go-to-market strategies out of it.
Do you feel, because I know you're on the partnership side, is this rare in the business world to have competitors like this that are able to come together, realizing that no one company is going to get there on their own, and bringing these massive corporations together to set aside the bottom line to grow something that is a very new technology, and really it's a new culture, right? Mm-hmm. It's beyond just the tech. Do you feel that that's one, rare, and two, vastly important to the growth of XR as a whole.
Yeah. One, is it rare? I mean, these industry alliances, technology alliances, they have been many before us, right? So it's not like we're the only ones. I know that there are a lot of these telco alliances as well, where competitors also get together. But for sure, for the XR industry, combined with sports, is a very rare combination, or at least we haven't seen big alliances like this before. So what we do, yes, it's very unique. On the second point, whether this is relevant or important, absolutely. So what we do, we believe, and this is our highest mission, everything we do should contribute to the mission to accelerate the time to market for these services. Because again, if we weren't doing this together, it would take so much longer. So the idea is really to share the learnings. Knowledge sharing is one, but really to bridge the industry of sports and tech, and having the leaders of both industry work together actively, right? So every of these experiments that we design, we work very closely with the sports right owner that hosts our experiment. So we're going to work with each of the rights owners for 1 or 2 of these experiments per year. And then we design the experiment based on their objectives, what they want to learn, and what the XR Sports Alliance put together, what we as an alliance want to learn. And then we design the entire scope, production, creative, software development, all of this around the objectives, so that we can actually measure tangible results. And all of that will then again be shared to all of the members. So absolutely, it's very important, because otherwise we wouldn't get so much industry or ecosystem learnings. And also, usually, if you work on these kind of proof of concepts or experiments before, because we have done it, right? All of the learnings are confidential, proprietary to the customer that we work for. But now that this is an alliance activity, all of the learnings can be shared with all of the members within the ecosystem.
I think that's the most exciting thing to me. Obviously, the tech and the way it's going to change the world is extremely exciting, right? But to see these massive corporations getting together to ultimately provide the greatest user experience that as human beings we've ever seen or heard of. And beyond this, I mean, you're kind of, I don't know what gets better than this. Obviously, the tech improves and things get better and image quality and things like that. But the things that you're working on are going to revolutionize not just sports, but entertainment as a whole, and really improving the lives. We haven't even talked about the ways that this can enhance things in the medical fields, and how, you know, you're focused on entertainment right now, but ultimately this technology is going to change our lives in every industry. And I think that's what's exciting about it as a whole. Now, you have a very big conference coming up this summer where, you know, this is really going to be putting it out. People can attend in person and to hear some really exciting stuff there from the horse's mouth, as we would say. Tell me a little bit more about that event coming up.
Yes. So in June, there's going to be this annual conference called the Augmented World Expo. This is the biggest XR conference annually. And at that show, we are going to announce the 4th cohort of the XR Sports Alliance. So we have new members joining our alliance. As I mentioned before, we are now 22, but after the announcement, we are probably going to be 28 or 30 members. So that's going to be exciting. And also, we're going to talk about the experiment that we just deployed and conducted last weekend, actually. So that was the first experiment for this year. We worked together with a sports right owner, a member of ours called FEAS. They are doing urban sports, action sports. They are one of the biggest urban festivals. They have this flagship event called Montpellier in France, in Montpellier. And we've been there. So the XR Sports Alliance was there. Our production team was there. We have produced immersive 180 content, 360 content, drone shots, all kinds of content. And the experiment was really to put together all sorts of immersive content and footage, create an experience out of this, and really test through all of our objectives. One of the main objectives being also, as we said, the market is shifting from virtual reality headsets to glasses. How is the fan perceived quality of a certain video format called the 180 degrees immersive video format? Is it better on the virtual headsets, or is it better on the glasses, or is there a compromise between the two? These are one of the most important objectives and learnings that we need to figure out. And yes, at that event, we had a lot of learnings. We started to do user testing already, but we will do some more. And at AWE, Augmented World Expo next month, we will have a panel to really talk about this as well.
If you ever need people in the United States to test some of this stuff, I would love to be involved. I'm just throwing my name out there for you, Lucy. I would love to attend the event and to be a guinea pig for you guys. I think that would just be absolutely thrilling. So just putting that out there for the future.
Yep.
Lucy, I am so appreciative of your time, and I don't want to keep you too much longer here today. Is there anything in particular that you want to share that you make sure people know? Now, we've had the ways to get in touch with you guys scrolling here, Accedo.tv, ACCEDO.TV, the XR Sports Alliance .com as well. But is there anything in particular that you want people to know before I let you get out of here today?
If you're a sports right owner, or even remotely a telco operator, right? Sports right owner, or have anything to do with immersive technologies or in sports, telcos, feel free to reach out to us because these are exactly the people that we want to help. Reach out to us. We can always become a member of our alliance to get access to these learnings. Or if you have any specific ask or need advice, or you have an idea of how to implement XR for media entertainment use cases, always reach out to us through Accedo.tv or through my LinkedIn. We're very happy to assist and help. Yeah, that's it.
I am just thrilled about the future of sports. Now, obviously, we have the Scene Project Sports Network as well as this platform and many others. I can only imagine the use cases in the entertainment field, concert goers. We also are in the music business ourselves there. So it's exciting. I know you're very focused on the sports side, but it's hard not to look 3 to 5 years down the line and just go, oh, we are on the cutting edge right now. And not just as a vision any longer, as really actionable, experiments that you're doing. The wearables are becoming not just a reality, but the price points are coming down on them as well, where regular users can have them. And this is going to really take off en masse over the course of the next 12 to 24 months and really accelerating. So a really exciting time to have you on the show, Lucy. I'm so appreciative of your time. I hope you'll give me a few minutes after we end the show as well, just so we can talk. We obviously, because of our sports network coverage, we happen to know a few sports right owners, and we'd love to make some connections there with you. So, Lucy, I'm so appreciative of the work that you're doing, of you giving me a little bit of your time today. Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for being part of the scene.
Thank you, Bubba. Thank you for having me.